What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another H.A.T format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your H.A.T format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Beast Beats, who is going to be on Battlin Boxer Traptrix or Traptrix Battlin Boxer, and on the other side we see Kulo, who is going to be on a kind of Chaos Ghostrick or Ghostrick Chaos deck. Hopefully this will be a good match, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. Here, it looks like Beast Beats is going to win the rock, paper, scissors and get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Battlin Boxer Headgeared, Forbidden Lance, MST, Traptrix, Traphole Nightmare, and Headgeared. And on the other side, we see Nikitama, Mirror Force, Zhangxi, Aritama, and Chaos Sorcerer. And here, Beast Beats will get to draw for turn, getting a copy of Mermail. So here they have the option of the Mermail or, getting the Battlin Boxer stuff started with the Headgeared. And they are going to start with the Mermail, getting a copy of Bottomless, and from here just setting a few back row, holding the Lance. Okay, I guess they don't want to play too hard into maybe the hands or something that would kind of waste this, though at the same time, depending on what it is, if it were to be like a fire hand, they always do have the Bottomless, but other than that, I guess they would be playing into Ice Hand pretty hard regardless. But anyways, over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Skullmeister. And from here, let's see, they are going to take it slow as well, setting the copy of Zhangxi over the Nikitama Aritama play, or even just Aritama to start getting searches. But anyways, over to Beast Beats, who gets a copy of Spar, which is a great draw here. And here they're going to normal summon Headgeared, use the effect, and go and dump a copy of Glassstraw. After that, going to battle phase and attacking into the copy of Zhangxi. And after that, Zhangxi will trigger to add a copy of Ghostrick Mary. From here, going to main phase 2 and overlaying for King of the Feral Imps. Okay, so they are going to go and try to get, usually this deck will either play Kagado Kage or Masked Chameleon. So here it looks like they're going for, one of those, I would assume, because I guess depending on if they're on it, Black Ship of Corn would have been good here because it would clear the Zhangxi. It also would play around in case the opponent had, say, a copy of Spectre or something, which they may have even had the read of given they went and picked up a copy of Mary, though at the same time, if Kulo thought that maybe they would go for Black Ship of Corn in main phase 2, going for Mary is a much better defensive play since they would have kind of a follow-up without needing another Ghostrick on board, which at the time they wouldn't have. But anyways, here Feral Imps is activated, and here they're going to pick up a copy of Masked Chameleon, alright, and after that, just passing it over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Dark Dust Spirit. Okay, that's not a bad draw, it's a little awkward in this position. Here, Zhangxi's going to use its effect to flip itself face down, and then setting Mirror Force in the end phase. Beast Beats is going to activate that MST to destroy the Mirror Force, though, drawing a copy of Switch Hitter, which is a great draw. After that, activating a King of the Feral Imps in main phase, getting another copy of Masked Chameleon. After that, summoning the copy of Switch Hitter, which can bring back this copy of Glassstraw, and then going into battle phase and running into that Zhangxi again. Here, Kulo will pick up a copy of Spectre, and after that, Spectre can trigger to summon itself face down, and they will get a draw, getting another copy of Skullmeister here. After that, Switch Hitter is going to run over the Spectre, and then the Feral Imps is going to attack in for 23, and that copy of Mary will trigger, discarding itself and setting another copy of Zhangxi. It's so crazy how much advantage the Ghostrick deck can get off of just one or two cards. Specifically, Zhangxi is, their starter, so it is very nice to see. I mean, in a way, Mary is their starter as well, but Mary just gets you to Zhangxi, which gets you into everything else. But anyways, into main phase 2, they're going to overlay for a copy of Lead Yoke and then set that copy of Lance. And from here, it looks like Kulo is going to get a copy of Caius, which is honestly a good out to the Lead Yoke. And let's see what they choose to do. Here they are going to flip the copy of Zhangxi, picking up another copy of Mary. After that, they're going to use its effect to flip itself face down, normal summoning the Nikitama. Okay, so playing it a little slower, but here they do have an option for an additional summon. Oh, and they're going to tribute for the Dark Dust Spirit, which says cannot be special summoned during the end phase of the turn this card is normal or flipped face up. Return it to the hand like every other spirit for the most part, and then when this card is normal or flipped face up, destroy all other face up monsters on the field. So just trying to clear the Feral Imps here, and then obviously the Lead Yoke will be able to detach a material to protect itself here. But, oh, and the Nikitama will also trigger because it was sent to graveyard, and Kulo does have a spirit in the Dark Dust Spirit on the field, so they will get a draw as well. So here it looks like Kulo gets a copy of Pot of Dichotomy, and Beast Beats chooses to detach the switch hitter here, okay, and then the Lead Yoke will gain a little bit of attack as well. And after that, banishing a light and a dark for the copy of Chaos Sorcerer, but that is going to meet the bottomless, so they were trying to kind of cheese out a way to out this Lead Yoke, as well as both of these are level 6s, so they could have also potentially gone into a rank 6 in some cases as well, but unfortunately that isn't going to work, and here in end phase setting the Dichotomy as a bluff, end phase Dark Dust Spirit returns, and over to Beast Beats, who gets another copy of Breakthrough Skill, so after that, it looks like they're summoning the copy of Masked Chameleon, and Kulo had to read it for a second, choosing not to use the effect. Do they not have? Oh no, because they detached the switch hitter, so the Glass Straw actually is usually the target that you're going to summon off the Masked Chameleon, so instead just going to battle phase and running into that Jiangshi, which is going to activate again, getting another copy of the Spectre. Jiangshi's destroyed, and here Spectre will trigger to again summon itself face down, and they will get a draw, getting a copy of Kagado Kage, and then Masked Chameleon can run over the copy of Spectre. Main phase 2 setting Breakthrough Skill, and oh, just passing. That's a little interesting. I say that because depending on, again, whatever Beast Beats extra deck looks like, they could have actually in main phase 2 summoned the copy of Spar. I know a lot of people get this a little confused, but this card says if you control a battling boxer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, you cannot conduct your battle phase for the rest of this turn. This card can be summoned in main phase 2, and obviously they didn't use the Masked Chameleon, so they would be able to actually go special summon the Spar because they do have a battling boxer monster in Lead Yoke, and then make another rank 4 if they really wanted to, but here playing it a little bit slower, and then over to Kulo, who got another copy of Aritama, but they don't really have a lot they're doing with it so far, so let's see. Here they are going to summon Aritama, chain the Kagado Kage, and the Aritama effect, getting a copy of Nikitama, and then Kagado Kage is going to be summoned, and let me just count the cards in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they definitely have more than 8, so an Exciton play isn't live here, but maybe they'll try a 101, which they are going to try, but we know Beast Beats has that copy of Breakthrough Skill and the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, and it looks like they are going to use the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare there, clearing the 101, and they're going to have to take a second to think here. Now discarding Skullmeister. Oh, discarding Skullmeister for hand size because they have so many cards, and obviously this deck doesn't really play a lot of back row, and here Beast Beats gets another Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, so on multiple, and here they are going to normal summon the copy of Headgeared, which is going to send a copy of Glass Straw. Glass Straw can then trigger, and Skullmeister is finally going to get some use and negate that copy of Glass Straw here. And after that, they're going to take some time to think. Are just going to battle phase? Okay, trying to maximize the amount of damage, though at the same time, I feel it could be a little risky given we do see that they were on Mirror Force, but at the same time, Lead Yoke can kind of protect here a little bit. They would lose the Masked Chameleon at bare minimum, but it's worth it in a situation like that. But anyways, after that, it looks like Mary's going to activate, discarding and getting the third copy of Jiangshi, I believe it was at this point, which it is. Okay, wow. So really going hard on that, and then Lead Yoke is going to attack into the Jiangshi. Jiangshi is going to trigger, getting a copy of Jack Frost this time, and then here the Headgear is going to attack in. Jack Frost is activated, so it will flip this copy of Headgeared face down and special summon itself in face down defense position, and then over to main phase 2, Beast Beats is going to set that copy of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare back over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Aritama, and now they can kind of do a handful of things given they do have the Nikitama and Aritama online, so they can at bare minimum make a rank 4, but here it looks like they're actually going to tribute for Caius, trying to clear that Lead Yoke as best as they can, but unfortunately the Breakthrough Skill is going to come up here, and they again just can't clear it, going to battle phase and running over the Masked Chameleon, and going to main phase 2 and just passing. Here Beast Beats gets a copy of MST, and they're going to activate it, which I think is almost a little not necessary in this position, given how many turns that Kulo has had this copy of Pot of Dichotomy set. You clearly haven't seen it really do anything, so you could assume it might not be anything relevant, so maybe even holding out on that MST, but at the same time, if you're trying to make a big push and really go for game, especially given how much of the resources Kulo's gone through, I guess it could also make sense there as well. But anyways, here they're going to normal summon Chameleon, and they do have a copy of Glassjaw engraved now, so they can special summon it, synchroing into a copy of Crimson Blader. And real quick, just to go over Mass Chameleon for you guys, it says, cannot be normal summoned if you control a level 5 or higher monster. When this card's normal summon, you can target one monster with 0 defense in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up defense position. Its effects are negated, and you cannot special summon any other monsters except from the extra deck during the turn you activate this effect. So here, going for a copy of Crimson Blader, and flipping up the headgear, going to battle phase, the Crimson Blader is going to run over the Caius, and from there, Kulo's just going to scoop it up. They are low on Steam, and now they're kind of locked out of those higher level monsters as well. So moving on into game number 2, Kulo will get to start this one out, which is good for the Ghostrick deck to get a little setup. And ooh, interesting. Here, opening hands, we see Beast is playing a copy of Fencing Fire Ferret. This is sort of like a fire hand in a way. It doesn't summon anything after, but it will destroy a monster and inflict 500 damage to the opponent. Call the Haunted, Mermail, MST, Headgeared. And on the other side, we see Jiangshi, Thrasher, Solemn Warning, Nikitama, and Breakthrough Skill. So a little bit of an interesting hand here from Kulo. They do have the option of making a early rank 4, or they could play it slow again with the Jiangshi backed up with Breakthrough Skill and Warning is actually pretty decent. And here they do get a draw, getting a copy of Valor as well. Okay, so let's see what they choose to do here. Here, setting the Jiangshi and setting 2, so they are going to play it slow. Beats gets a copy of Compulse, and they do, at bare minimum, have an MST, but they are going to wait, running out that copy of Mermail, using the effect, and here the Valor is going to be activated on that, and they will just set 2 and pass, not even going to take the risk of running into Jiangshi and giving Kulo extra advantage, and here Kulo will draw for turn, getting that copy of Jack Frost. From here, it looks like they're going to flip up the copy of Jiangshi, adding a copy of Mary. After that, using the Jiangshi and just flipping itself back face down, back over to Beast Beats, who gets a copy of Switch Hitter, summoning the copy of Headgeared, using the effect and dumping the Glassjaw. After that, overlaying into a copy of King of the Feral Imps, and that is going to meet the warning here. So after that, Beast Beats is going to set that one, Call the Haunted, and then back over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Dark Dust Spirit. Not really a great card here, flipping up the Jiangshi and adding a copy of Spectre, so they definitely have a lot of those stall cards here. After that, normal summoning the copy of Nikitama and going to battle phase, just trying to inflict as little bit of damage as they can, as again, this deck sometimes is a little slow to get in damage. After that, main phase 2, going for the Jiangshi, and I don't believe this used its effect to flip down this turn. I think that was the turn previous, if I'm remembering correctly, so they are going to flip it down, and then in the end phase, the Nikitama will return to hand. After that, Beast Beats gets a copy of Thrasher, so this could be a very interesting turn, though obviously they wouldn't be able to go for the Switch Hitter and Thrasher in the same turn, because Switch Hitter has the effect that you cannot special summon any monsters during the turn you activate this effect except Battling Boxer monsters, so if they wanted to, they could potentially play it a little slower, going Photon Thrasher and just running into this, or they could even go for the Switch Hitter and bring back the Glassjaw or something and go into like a Lead Yoke, but we will have to see. Here they are going to go for the Switch Hitter play, and it looks like that is going to be met with the Breakthrough Skill, so a little unfortunate there, but oh, it looks like Beast Beats is actually going to be chaining that copy of Compulse on their own Switch Hitter to dodge the Breakthrough Skill. So here the Glassjaw will still be summoned, and I just want to double check when the target Battling Boxer in your special summon now. Okay, I just need to make sure that it wasn't in a certain position there. I couldn't entirely remember. You're going to battle phase and running over that copy of Jiangshi. Jiangshi triggers, adding a copy of Spectre, and we know how this goes. Special summon the Spectre face down, draw a card, and here it looks like Kulo gets a copy of Mary. After that, Call the Haunted's going to be activated, still in battle phase, going for the Headgeared and running over that copy of Spectre, and here the other copy of Spectre is going to trigger, so a little unfortunate there for Beast Beats, who is trying to just clear the Ghostrick, and here it looks like Kulo's going to get a copy of Wiretap, going main phase 2 and overlaying into a Lead Yoke in defense position, and just playing it a little slow now. Kulo gets a copy of Breakthrough Skill, and from here, let's see what they choose to do. They are going to flip up Spectre and then normal summon Mary. Obviously, the Ghostrick monsters can't be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster, so here just flipping that up so they can legally do that, and after that, overlaying into a copy of Slacker Magician. Really great card, very good for stalling out as well, and after that, setting 2 back row, and in the end phase, Beast Beats is going to blind MST, hitting the copy of Breakthrough Skill, which is pretty solid here. though in a lot of situations that means on the following turn, if they really wanted to, they could banish the breakthrough skill, normal summon the Dark Dust Spirit, and clear the lead yoke. But let's see here. It looks like they're going to set the fencing Fire Ferret and set the copy of Traptrix Traphole Nightmare over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Wiretap. So now they have 2 Wiretaps. And here, Breakthrough Skill is going to be activated. Okay, so maybe they are going to go for that, and they are going for the Dark Dust Spirit, clearing the lead yoke, and then it looks like in battle phase, Dark Dust Spirit is going to run over the Fencing Fire Ferret, and that will be able to pop the Dark Dust Spirit, inflict 500 damage, and after that, Kulo is going to set another back row over to Beast Beats, who also gets another Traptrix Traphole Nightmare, so seeing lots of doubles here. And unfortunately, let's see, switch hitters summoned using the effect, going for Glass Draw, and here being able to push in for some damage, but oh, they're actually not going to use the Mary here. Now they're going to use it after taking a lot more damage, going for that copy of Zhangxi, and then here, no, I guess they took it back. They were doing a bit of thinking, and maybe Beast Beats was being a little rash and quick with that, but here it looks like after the switch hitter, they're using the Mary, summoning this copy of Zhangxi. Glass Draw is going to attack over. Zhangxi is going to trigger, adding another copy of Mary, so they've only gone through 2 copies of Spectre, so I'm wondering if maybe they sided one out, or they're just not wanting to float anymore. And let's see, main phase 2 overlaying for another copy of Lead Yoke in defense position. After that, sending that other copy of Traptrix Traphole Nightmare over to Kulo, who gets a Kage. So now they can definitely make some plays work. They do have the Thrasher. They could just normal the Nikitama and go for like a Kage. But we will have to see here, because I guess depending on what they have, they actually have a lot of different plays. And they have another breakthrough skill, so they could easily out this in a ton of different ways. Let's see what they choose to go for. Here they are going to summon that copy of Thrasher. After that, using the copy of Breakthrough Skill, and they can just run it over, right? Because Lead Yoke only has 2,000 defense. And then in main phase 2, summoning the copy of Nikitama, and then specialing the Kage, overlaying for King of the Feral Imps, using the effect, and that is going to be met with the copy of Traptrix Traphole Nightmare, but Kulo does have those wiretaps, which they are going to use. And so here, Kulo can get a copy of Kage. I guess depending on what they were looking for, if they play Lavavel Chain, they could have also gone into Lavavel Chain and dumped a Nikitama, and because they control a spirit, they would get a draw off the Nikitama if they wanted like a random draw there. That was another option, and in end phase, Nikitama is going to return, and then here Beast Beats gets a copy of Switch Hitter, so again, they have that position of what they're going to go for, and they choose the Thrasher, and kind of right back at Kulo, who kind of did the same play previously on the Lead Yoke. Here, Kulo gets another copy of Nikitama, so again, they can make another rank 4 if they really want to. Summoning Nikitama, going Kage, overlaying for Lavavel Chain. Okay, and from here, let's see, they are going to summon the copy of Nikitama. And here, Nikitama does have the ability that during the turn it was normal summoned or flip face up. You can normal summon 1 spirit monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So I don't believe it has to be still face up on the field as long as it was properly summoned and stuff like that. Even if it does have to be, still face up at the time, which again, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have to be. They could have just done this before going for the Lavavel Chain. It didn't really change anything here. And anyways, let's see. They are going to go and actually stack the copy of BLS, and then the Nikitama that was detached will trigger to add that BLS to hand. And here they are going to go for BLS, so it's not looking good for Beast Beats here. And it looks like they are going to walk over the Thrasher, and then BLS is going to be able to make a second attack here. I think they're looking up. It looks like can Traptrix Traphole Nightmare activate on BLS here, and it should not be able to. And after that, still pushing in for more damage. And let's see what happens. Ooh, Beast Beats is very low in life now. In the end phase, that copy of Nikitama is going to return. Here, Beast Beats gets a copy of Thunder King, so interesting to see that in this build exactly, and it looks like they see it too, so they are going to scoop it up. Moving on into a game number 3, honestly, very interactive game so far. Opening hands, we see Call of the Haunted, Fencing Fire Ferret, Bottomless, Lance, and Breakthrough, so not the greatest hand here from Beast Beats. It doesn't really do the most against this Ghostrick deck. And on the other side, we see Zhangxi, Wiretap, Valor, Chaos Sorcerer, and Jack Frost. So Kulo does have this copy of Zhangxi, so they have their main starter. So let's see what happens. Oh, but here Headgear is drawn, which is perfect, sending that copy of Glass Draw, and then here Beast Beats can set a few back row, similar to the first game, holding that copy of Lance. Here Kulo gets that copy of Nikitama, And it looks like they are just going to set the Jiangshi, set a back row here. Beast Beats gets a copy of Switch Hitter. So, you know, they went from having 0 engine to all the engine. Veiler's going to activate to negate that copy of Switch Hitter. And it looks like Beast Beats is just going to go straight into a lead yoke and go to battle phase. They probably assumed it was the Jiangshi, which it was, getting the copy of Spectre and doing the little dance here. And let's see what they draw off of this. They are going to get a copy of Caius. Okay, so very good. What was the... Oh, but they do have, like, all the answers they could ever want to that. So that's a little unfortunate here. Kulo gets a copy of MST, which they're going to go blind MST. Hitting the copy of Bottomless is wild, especially given what they have in hand. So really lucky hit there. And here they are going to go and Tribute Summon for that copy of Caius to try to out the lead yoke, but the breakthrough skills activate, but then the wiretap is chained to that, shuffling back the copy of breakthrough skill and pushing in for 24 damage. Here, Beast Beats gets a copy of breakthrough skill of their own. They're going to normal summon Fencing Fire Ferret, attack into the Caius, popping it and inflicting 500 damage, and then going to main phase 2 and setting one. Here, Kulo gets another copy of MST. Are they going to fire it? They are. Blind hitting a Call the Haunted, and Call the Haunted's activated, bringing back the copy of Glassjaw, and then here triggering the Glassjaw. This says, if this card is targeted for an attack, destroy this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one Battlin Boxer monster in your graveyard, except Battlin Boxer. Glassjaw, add it to your hand. I'll be honest there, I'm not entirely sure if that triggers there. I know there's a handful of things with trigger locations, as well as things, for example, like Moral Tack. For example, if this were to be a Moral Tack, the Moral Tack wouldn't have been able to trigger because it's no longer on the field by the time the whole chain and stuff resolves. So I'm a little curious on that one. If anyone in the comment section knows, definitely let me know. We'll play as if it works this way, and hopefully that is how it works. I'm not entirely sure on that one exactly. Sometimes when there's all these like weird cards and stuff that you don't see super often, you see like sometimes, or even just like interactions, sometimes it can be a little confusing there. So someone will definitely let me know in the comment section. But here, adding back the copy of Switch Hitter, and anyways, it looks like Kulo is then going to normal summon the copy of Nikitama and just push in for a little bit of damage. After that, going to end phase, and here Beast Beats gets a copy of Blackhorn. That's, I guess they're using it for the Chaos Monsters exactly. Normal summoning that copy of Switch Hitter, using the effect, bringing back the Glassjaw, pushing in for some damage, and here will we see the Jack Frost activated. It looks like they are going to on the copy of Glassjaw because it has 0 defense. And then after that, Beast Beast sets that copy of Blackhorn over to Kulo, who gets a copy of Creeping Darkness. Really cool card, flipping up the Jack Frost and going to attack over the copy of Glassjaw. But unfortunately, Lance is going to activate on that, so it's 0 walking into 0, and it actually won't be able to out it here. Kind of funny interaction there, going to main phase 2. And they are going to activate Creeping Darkness, banishing 2 and getting a copy of Aritama. And they have not normal summoned this turn, so being able to summon that Nikitama, summon Aritama, and then use the effect to add another copy of Nikitama is very strong. Flipping the copy of Jack Frost down, overlaying into a copy of Black Ship of Corn. And what are they going to send here? Oh, but that does get met with the copy of Blackhorn, so unfortunate for Kulo, but they will be able to go and banish for the copy of Chaos Sorcerer and try to get rid of that Glassjaw, but Beast Beats just has everything at this point, going for that breakthrough skill. Here they get a copy of Rhoda, which is also just a great draw for them here. And let's see, they're going to overlay for a copy of King of the Feral Imps, and from here using the effect and detaching and adding a copy of Masked Chameleon. After that, normal summoning the copy of Masked Chameleon, bringing back the copy of Glassjaw, and going and synchroing into a copy of Crimson Blader. And let me just see real quick, I think, yeah, it's just extra deck. You cannot special summon any other monsters from the extra deck, or any other monsters except from the extra deck. Okay, cool. So they went for the Feral Imps and then summoned back the Glassjaw, and then they're locked in and can only go for the Blader here. And from here, attacking over the Chaos Sorcerer and attacking over that copy of Jack Frost over to Kulo, who now gets a copy of Mary. What all do they have? Oh, they still have like a lot left. Okay. So not bad for them at all. Here, Beast Beats gets a copy of Book of Moon, detaches from King of the Feral Imps to get another copy of Masked Chameleon. After that, activating Rhoda, getting another copy of Switch Hitter, and summoning that copy of Switch Hitter, bringing back the Glassjaw. It's not looking great for Kulo here, attacking in with the Glassjaw, taking the damage. Are they holding the Mary, or what's up with that? Oh no, they're waiting until the end. So I'm wondering, no, they should still have specters unless they sided all of them out. And even then, like, I guess, interesting. I guess they're just holding it so they take a little less damage there. So going for the Jiangshi here now, and then the Blader is going to attack over that. Here they will get the copy of Spectre, and let's see what they draw off of that. Going and getting a copy of Kage, which is good for the copy of Nikitama, main phase 2 overlaying into a Lead Yoke and setting that copy of Book of Moon. And here it looks like Kulo gets a copy of Breakthrough, and this might just be the end, because if they summon the copy of Nikitama, go Kage, they could just Book of Moon one of them, and that's pretty much game at that point. Unless they bluff it out as that's a Mirror Force, which they could do for sure. Here going for the only play they really have, and it looks, they say think on Kage. Ooh, they are going to Book of Moon one of the monsters, and it looks like Beast Beats does take that. Honestly, those were very grindy games, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost. If you thought the deck you or your opponent was playing was pretty cool, feel free to send those in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.